Cool. But yeah, Kyle, you gotta be feeling pretty good about your team, don't you think, man? I know we haven't been on this pod for a while, but I know we're gonna get into it. But you gotta be feeling pretty good about them Raiders, don't you, Kyle? Kyle. Oh, okay. Did Oh shit. So what did you hear from me? What did you? Okay, yeah. But I was like, can you give me some action on that, boss?
Beat Denver. Was happy about that. Week
Week
two.
one beat Denver. Yeah,
Week
week one
two.
beat. I mean, gotta feel good about that one. Let me say real quick. We're gonna have Joe on here one of these days, and in all reality, they should have won that game. I'll tell you, it's really wild how this team's gonna pan out, that Denver team. But in all reality, man, you guys pulled it out. Jimmy G, the captain of uh, game managing. Managed that game perfectly.
He he,
Perfectly.
he did. He absolutely did. And when it's going good, that's what he does. But if you fast forward to a week later, we got destroyed to a damn good Bills team. So
They're
here's how
they're
I
still trying to get their sea legs, man. Honestly, I think you said it. If the Bills beat the Jets, this game don't matter as much, and the likelihood of them winning, increases. But they were facing an 0-1 Bills team, and you guys were 1-0. Very much NFL kind of situation. Like, oh man, the Raiders are 1-0 and the Bills are 0-1. What happened? Like if someone gets out of a time capsule out of the last like maybe 5, 6, 7 years, and they're just like, what the hell happened? How'd this work out? And, you people would never bet against the Bills in that situation. They're like, oh well, both teams are gonna be 1-1 today, and that's how it looks.
yeah, well when the Bills
The
lost
beauty of the NFL.
when the Bills lost to the Jets, it was obviously the Aaron Rodgers four-play game, and they somehow still lost. I was thinking to myself, this is like worst case scenario for the Raiders because they're too good of a team to go to 0-2. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, in the very first half, well, first quarter, we were up 7-0, getting ready. We had the ball back, and then Jimmy G sets up a screen. That screenplay to Abdullah was going to pick up monster yards. Defensive lineman tipped it. It gets picked. 2 plays later, 3 plays later, it's 7-7. After that happened, downhill after that. But I mean, I don't know. The thing about it is, if Jimmy doesn't turn the ball over, and we can get that run game going, I think we'll be okay. Defense has a lot of question marks when it comes to good teams, good offensive teams. We let literally Josh Allen was tearing us up. I mean, that's if I was getting ready to start a team, I've told everybody this. He would be my QB1.
Yeah, well, they were able to run the ball. It was weird. You guys couldn't get any form of pressure, and of course, it was exact opposite of last year or last week. Max Crosby was a dog in week one, and week two, he didn't even get any pressures. It seemed like throughout the game, and it was just a weird thing to comprehend. We were watching that whole game. I was like, why is he just standing up with the tackle, like rush the passer, dip under, get physical, and he really wasn't doing that at all. And they're able to run the ball, and because of that, they, and had no pass rush. Josh Allen had all the time in the world to throw,
I'm
and heck, Gabe Davis had a great day, and people are high low on him.
I'm going to give Max a big pass. Okay, and the reason for that is his motor is always 100% all the time. I went back and watched that game again. And there was, and I know James Harrison used to always get held and stuff like that, but there was a very critical touchdown to end the first half, where it was only 14-10 if you remember that correctly, and then we give the ball back and they only have like a minute and they go down the score another touchdown before half to make it 21-10. But literally, there's a still shot. Crosby is getting freaking raped, held, and that wasn't the only time, dude. Like, so he was getting, and that's what's going to happen with Crosby. He's going to get held. He's going to get doubled. He's too good not to. He's going to get tripled even sometimes. Our defensive tackles aren't good enough yet. We got Brian Young, who's a young rookie defensive tackle. He's trying to make a way. But our defensive line as a whole, the only guy we got is really Crosby. I mean, we got Tyree Wilson, rookie out of Texas A&M.
Still a question mark. Again, the
Texas
Bills
Tech, excuse me.
completely, he's a rookie, so benefit the doubt, but they completely shut down your pass rush.
Yeah.
All right, there was none of that whatsoever.
You're-
And Damian Harris and James Cook looked like they could do the job, and it wasn't even that impressive. It was just that they were if they made it the third down, they converted. It was very methodical, and he was looking for Stephon Diggs a lot, and then a little bit of Dalton Kincaid, a little bit of Gabe Davis. Like, let's get Deontay Hardy in the game, but it was a tale of two defenses in your Raider team, Kyle. That's literally it. Because Jimmy G is going to give you what he got. Negative yardage for Josh Jacobs. That right there is the biggest issue on that offense.
I think
without a doubt.
I read something the very first time ever that the reigning rushing title leader, or the reigning rushing title holder, went for negative yards the following season in a game. And
You said never?
Never. That's what I read earlier in the week. Never happened before. And I mean, you got to think about this.
Only the Raiders, man. Only the Raiders will have a guy like that.
We'll make history. Might not always be good, but think about this for a second. Last season, Josh Jacobs had 131 rushes against two deep defenses post-snap. Okay? So far, it's only been 2 games now, but so far this season, he's only had 5. So there's only been 5 times this season where he was running against 2 deep defenses post-snap. That's all. Jimmy G's not respected enough to go deep with the ball. So Derek Carr,
No.
the one thing about Derek was he would toss the rock. He would go deep. So defenses,
He could stretch the field.
He could stretch the field. Defenses were worried about that. But now they're looking at Jimmy like, oh, he's not going to do that. So until Jimmy comes out firing up, trying to stretch the field a little bit, it's going to be a long, long season for Josh Jacobs, I'm afraid. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. But Jimmy, what's going to happen is we're going to have to rely on the dink and dunks, what Jimmy does, game manager, squeak away with a 1-point, 2-point win here and there.
Grind it out.
We're not going to have a high-scoring offense. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see it. This week, we're going up against another good defense, Pittsburgh, Ken Stabler night.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you flip it, last year we were at the game for Franco Harris night a couple days after he passed away. The whole thing was going to be to honor him with immaculate deception. And
reception. He caught it. I'll tell you right now, in terms of technology, I'm going to cut you off here because that's exactly what that reception was. It cut off a great deflection by Jack Tatum, right? Off of Frenchie Fuqua, all right? And everyone thought it was an incomplete pass. Franco Harris, play till the whistle's blown, all right? Reception, makes this play, and I'll tell you, there has never been multiple, and you could say what you want about this. This is the funniest thing about history. Out of all the NFL games and out of all the great plays, the immaculate reception is the only play that has two camera angles. And the second angle is actually the most famous angle because it shows exactly him catching it. It's almost like they're rubbing it in, like they're showing you, hey, this is a proof. This is the proof we got.
It's not even.
All right, it's not the Zapruder film. It is not the Bigfoot video from the 1960s. This is real.
The thing about it is not even about did he catch it or not. It's about back in the day, the rules was it cannot hit off another one of your own players, and you can't advance the ball. So
They were like, just don't let it hit the ground. I don't even know. I don't even. There's no way. They're just
they're
like, don't let it hit the ground.
it's the worst.
Randy Moss was like, just catch the ball.
It's
Doesn't matter how you do it. I don't care if you got to catch it with your feet.
literally the worst call in sports. It's the worst call. I don't care. You can't. Once again, the Raiders got screwed there because the NFL. We know that. We know 100%. NFL don't like Al Davis. Doesn't like the Raiders, so they screwed Al. They screwed the Raiders.
R.I.P. Franco. R.I.P. Franco.
R.I.P.
Plain
Al.
and simple.
R.I.P. Kenny.
Oh, R.I.P. Yeah, Kenny, the rattlesnake, right?
Here's what I will say.
What do you got?
Franco Harris went to a game in Pittsburgh, Raiders, Steelers. I went with Leisure, our buddy Ryan Leisure, and he took me there. And
Hope you heal up.
yep,
Hope you heal up, brother.
I know you had a big surgery today, bro. So I hope that went well. Let me know if
Take
you
care
need
of yourself.
anything. But so also shout out to his club, Viking Social Club.
Yeah, hey, no free ads. No free ads,
free
Kyle.
ads, but he's healing.
Love
up, man.
Ryan, but you know,
Broken
come
leg.
on.
We got to give him something. Anyway.
Yeah, sure, that works. That's fine.
Anyway.
Let us do a show at your place.
Yes, let us do a show sometime. But anyway, long story short, he took me up there. We went with Mike Simon, NFL agent, and we had great seats. We were in the club level like we were last year. But we parked, and as soon as we parked, we're tailgating, and there's this Jeep that pulls up. Lo and behold, who gets out? Franco Harris does.
What?
Nicest guy I've ever seen. He literally got out of his Jeep. Everybody bombarded him. He took his time, signed all the autographs, took pictures, and then it got to our group, and all the people in our group got a picture with him, and they're like, Jones, come over here and get a picture. And I was like, nah, I can't do it. I'm a Raider fan. And
Oh my God.
You know what Franco did? He smiled.
Yeah, you're like, he dropped the ball.
He
dropped it. He didn't catch it. It's an illegal catch.
But the thing about it is,
As he walks out, that's exactly what I can hear you just fuming from it right there.
He's
like, now's my fucking chance. I would tell him.
He listened, and he smiled. Like, he knows. He
No,
knows.
no.
He knows.
He's just like, what are you gonna do about it now?
He knew. He knew about it.
It's like Paul McCartney. You don't know if it's really him. You're just like, hey, it could be not him. And then he's like, you would never know, and only I know. So
honestly though, I'm so amped up for this week, this game Sunday night. It's one of the greatest. Like, I know we don't play each other every year, but it's one of the greatest rivalries in sports. Like the 70s and 80s, insane.
Yeah, again, I said it at your place. The Steelers Raiders rivalry is very much like the Niners Packers or the Niners Cowboys, like back in the day. Those Brett Favre teams, those Steve Young teams, those Troy Aikman ran teams, Joe Montana, a little bit of that, and it's those out of division rivalries that they face each other in the playoffs. These are games that matter. Or back in the day, these games mattered, and it's funny how I don't know how you're feeling about your predictions about the Raiders. You're probably feeling, hey, you're still on track. But I can tell you, I'm glad the Steelers got their win the other day. But in all reality, man, it was a total bomb show. It looked terrible. That big play to Pickens, but Kenny Pickett still hasn't thrown 2 touchdowns in a game.
That's going to change.
Has never done it.
That's going to change this week.
I hope so. I really hope so.
And
I hope so. But he couldn't do it last year. I know he was a rookie, but
the reason it's going to change,
the
reason
that off Matt Canada.
Well, no,
Matt Canada's a joke.
The reason that's going to change is because someone brought that up. Every time there's a stat like that brought up, Raider week, it happens against the Raiders. I don't know why it happens.
No, I've been talking about this since week 1. I know we haven't talked about any shows or haven't done anything. First off, I'd like to apologize and appreciate everyone for tuning in and listening and watching and checking us out on Instagram and checking us out on Spotify and all that fun stuff and wherever you get your podcasts. But had a great opportunity, huge opportunity given to me, and I had to take advantage of it. So, anyone else would do the same thing.
100%.
Timing is everything, and
also,
it slowed us down a little bit, but we're going to keep doing pods. We're still going to do pods.
Yeah, we're going to be doing pods. We're going to be doing at least once a week, maybe twice. But
At one point it'll increase,
yes,
but right now at least one.
yep.
So
And I want to give a shout out to Kev.
yeah,
Probably not watching right now because I know he's at the beach, but I know he'll listen to it later. So shout out Kev, enjoy that
shout out
beach
Kev.
life.
Beach life.
But yeah, it's
Watch out for the sharks, man.
yeah. Watch out for Sharknado. It's real.
Sharknado. It's real.
Uh,
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, so I can't wait for this Sunday night, dude. Like, I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad it's happening week 3, and the reason I'm glad is because I still have faith in my pick and my projections. But you never know if either of our teams started freaking, going off the rails, and this game could have been flexed at a later date. It could have been. So I'm glad it's prime time. This rivalry,
It's early.
every game, and I hope I don't jinx it because I love a good game. But hopefully this game's close because usually they're all close against the Steelers and Raiders. So we'll see what happens. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad. I will say this. I am glad Steelers got a win last Monday because if they're going into Vegas 0-2, it's sort of desperation mode. And say what you want about Mike Tomlin, but he always coaches well with his back against the wall.
Yeah, and it. Depending on who you listen to in Pittsburgh, Mark Madden thinks he needs to be gone, and I'm on the ropes about Tomlin. It's again.
Who are you going to get to replace him?
He was mocking this, but he's never had a losing season. Yeah, he hasn't won a playoff game in a while, but I really think that half of it was because literally the team that was given to him. When he had that great offense, they had a subpar defense at best, and now the defense is definitely, at the very least, a top 15 team. Top 15 ranked defense. It could definitely get better. It's I'm sorry.
They're top 10.
Yeah, well, they're when you give up that terrible for that week 1 against the Niners, it's a total different story. That's why I'm saying 15. You flex them,
I get
but
it.
they can get better. Here we are again. We have the players on offense, but it's not working. We can't run the ball. Everyone is mad that we're not throwing the ball better, but we can't run the ball like we always haven't, like the last 5 years. We haven't been able to run the ball.
Who took that game
And
over in the fourth
Kenny
quarter?
can't
though,
do shit.
on offense. Najee had some damn good runs in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, finally. And it comes down to the guys up front. Without a doubt, we're not getting a push. Now, the Browns, credit, they added some guys on the defensive line this past year, including Zadarius Smith and a few D tackles. So they were trying to build themselves to stop the run against those Steelers and the Ravens, and again, obviously the Bengals, but just bouncing around the North, man. It's crazy how it's looking right now. The Browns are in the middle of the pack, and heck, the Bengals are sitting at 0-2. I never would have thought
What did
it.
I tell
never
you
would have thought
before
this.
the season started?
Yeah,
What did I
yeah.
tell you?
It's. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The same same thing's happening with the Chargers right now.
What did I
I
tell you
didn't
about the
believe
Chargers?
you. Oh yeah, no, I knew the Chargers were going to be bad. I knew it. It's funny they're starting off 0-2, and Staley's starting to have his moments.
And there was
he
There was an NFL executive that came out and said this week Justin Herbert is not an elite quarterback. He's in a
see. I don't even think it's that,
But
man. I think it's just overall a game plan.
There's an executive though that obviously he wasn't like the name wasn't thrown out there, but it was an NFL executive that said he's an above average quarterback who goes to his first read. Like he knows who's coming out when he comes out of that huddle. If it's a pass play, he knows he's going to throw it to Keenan Allen. He knows he's going to throw it to Farm.
Let's
Predetermined.
This is where I'm hoping. I'm hoping Kellen Moore can elevate Justin Herbert here. Maybe get him some knowledge, because again, if he's going first read, he has the arm strength. He's going to be able to make that throw and know that half the time, or probably a little bit more than half the time, he knows that his first read is going to be a good attempt. And yeah, if that's all defenses need to do is just figure out what's his first read and then block that. Again, Kellen Moore, hopefully we could then elevate him to look that off, and then go to a second or third read without
Now,
minimal mistakes. But he's still doing well for me in fantasy, and I think he's going to do that for everybody this year. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out, because again, that Charger team looks good on paper, but
well, they need to get
2 weeks in a row, Kyle. They've come down to the wire.
Well, yeah.
Fourth quarter, down by a score, up by a score, ends up losing to Miami, and then coming in week 3 and having a damn OT mishap.
Well, let me tell you this:
losing an OT, that's rough.
Let me tell you this: in the OT, they get the ball first. Chargers do. What do? They go 3 and out, 0 yards.
3 and out.
Do
yeah.
you think if Justin Herbert is elite? Here's my biggest pet peeve about Justin Herbert. I see way too many people using the word.
You need to get that first down. You can't go 3 and out on an OT.
Too many people use the word elite. Okay, there's only. I'll put Pat Mahomes in the elite class, and I'll put Aaron Rodgers when he's healthy in the elite class.
Yeah, no, healthy Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Those are
guys that could elevate other players.
Those
take control.
And obviously the GOAT Tom Brady when he was playing, and Peyton Manning.
Sure.
But those are the only two that are playing currently that I would put in the elite class.
Drew Brees. I like Drew Brees in that situation.
I'm talking
I think he would.
Yeah, but I'm talking about playing.
And I'm saying regular season included, because of course, there's when we narrow it down to playoffs, and we're definitely saying just Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, basically.
Right, and I'm talking about now. I shouldn't have brought other names. I'm just talking about.
No, you're cool. You're cool.
And then like the really good, like the 1B class, I'll put Josh Allen in there. I say, like, if I was starting a franchise tomorrow, I would want Josh Allen as my quarterback because I feel like he has all the tools that can be really good.
Mm-hmm.
His decision-making, it just sucks at sometimes. Look at week 1, for example. He has the most turnovers since, I think, 2018 or something like that. So I'd put Josh Allen in the 1B category. I'd put Lamar Jackson there. I would put Joe Burrow there. And then in like the 2 category, that's where I would put Justin Herbert. It's just like I'm not trying to hate on Justin Herbert because I feel like he has all the tools that can be really successful and really good. I just don't. I hate how they throw it out there. He's elite. Now, here's the biggest thing with the Chargers. They have a good enough quarterback to win and go to playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs. But the biggest thing going on with that organization is Brandon Staley. He needs to freaking go.
Yeah. That's a bad situation.
The same thing, and going back to Tomlin real quick, I love Tomlin. I would not, if I was Pittsburgh, I would not even think about getting rid of him. But he did make a mistake keeping Matt Canada this year.
Yeah, and I don't know the entire situation with that. People are talking about that it might be because he likes kind of having, guys that will agree with him. And, in all reality, I know he's been doing this for a while, and majority of the time you do want guys to agree with you because that's like why especially you have any pool on who you can have on your staff, why wouldn't you hire guys that would agree with you? However, all right, the Beatles were good because they had arguments, right? Like every good team, they clash offense, defense, and including the coordinators involved. And if you want just, everything kind of just going a la-di-da, I know that's not Mike Tomlin at all, and he acts like it doesn't, but if that's the core of it, then he, from his side, I don't even know how he can look at what we have, of Matt Canada the last couple of years and say this is good. This has been good. It's gotten better. You can't say any of that.
I think
any of that whatsoever.
Watching the first 2 games this year, I feel like Kenny Pickett's regressed.
Yes. Yeah. Now, of course, he might have got a concussion in that first game. And, the second game, like early on, man, like threw a pick. And we're lucky enough that Deshaun Watson don't got it no more.
Yeah.
Straight up. Nick Chubb had to go straight Rugrats
Real quick.
Do you remember the Rugrats back in the day that when they had that football player that broke his leg and
Yeah.
it was like literally shaped like an L?
Yeah.
That was Nick Chubb's leg.
Real quick on that hit, people. First off, the hit that they didn't show on TV, I got to see it on Twitter. That hit was gnarly. That the leg was gnarly.
I saw it live, man.
I hope Chubb, Nick. I hope you heal up. I hope you can play another down again. You know, I'm not saying his career's over or anything like that, but it's the same leg in 2015, basically the same injury. Hopefully he can heal up. But people, Browns fans, are saying that was a dirty hit by Minka. Listen to me.
On Chubb?
Yeah, a lot of Browns fans.
Oh,
It's Browns being Browns fans, like, you know. And there's been some other fans that said it was a cheap hit. It's not a cheap hit. First off, these defensive players are told not to hit in the head anymore because it's going to be a fine. If you talk to an NFL player on offense, where would they rather be hit, the knees or the head? Most of them will probably say the head because their legs make the money.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and also the biggest point here, and I heard this on Pat McAfee's show the other day. AJ Hawk made this point, so it was a good point I want to bring up again. For the most part, even if it's a rivalry game, these players are trying to sort of take care of each other as best as they could, as best as they can on the field. Like, there's going to be a lot of shit talking back and forth. There's going to be, like, you obviously just, like, when you're on the field, you want to win every matchup. You want to make the hits and stuff, but you're also not trying to end the guy's career. So for people to really say that hit that Minka had was dirty, not a shot in hell that was dirty. If you want to,
no, dude, it's part of the game, dude. For God's sakes.
If you want to talk about a dirty hit, let's look at Colorado State and Colorado, where Travis Hunter.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, but where Travis Hunter got lit up. Now, there's a lot of things that came out of that to the Blackburn, the kid that Henry Blackburn, the kid that hit Travis Hunter, and we'll get to that later. But it's a sport that collisions are going to happen. High-speed collision. These guys are dogs all over the field. They're the top athletes of their profession. So things like this is going to happen. So don't call it a dirty hit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so here is a comparable picture. If you remember that Rugrats episode,
yes.
That was Nick Chubb's leg. I don't want to show the full video because it is gruesome, and you know we're not here to. I know. Our last episode we had a video of a broken leg UFC fight. That was pretty intense.
That was
but
pretty, yeah.
We're gonna try to keep it clean as much as we can. So that is the best we can do as of what Nick Chubb's knee may look like right now.
I hope he heals up.
We hope the best for you, Nick. Yeah, it ended up being the same leg that he injured in college.
Yep.
But the dude, I'll tell you right now, of course it's been a while, but and again, it's the second time. He made a full recovery, and I really think that he's just one of those guys that no matter what happens to him, he'll be able to bounce back like AP.
Yeah.
He this already happened to him once.
The thing about it was...
It doesn't make it easier, but he knows what he has to do, and I think he'll be great.
That was 8 years ago. He was 19 at that time, I think, because he's 27 now. He's still younger.
Wow.
He's still younger, but running back age, he's not that young. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for the best. It sucks. I mean, I hate injuries, like, to begin with, but especially injuries to guys that are like the heart and soul of that team. It just...
Oh, absolutely. That's the worst part about it. You know, of course, now we're at the point where like, hey, who would we rather get hurt? But no, it's a shame. Yeah, because Nick Chubb, especially what the Browns are trying to be now. Nick Chubb is the Browns personified, and all-pro player. It's a shame. I had him in a fantasy league, and sadly I had to kiss him goodbye. It's a shame.
Playbook, dude. That's Cleveland Browns playbook is all around Nick Chubb. So they brought in Kareem Hunt. They got Ford. We'll see how that goes. Fantasy people out there, I'd pick up Ford. I think he's going to be good. We'll see how Kareem Hunt comes back into play, but I would definitely be putting a waiver claim in for Ford if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, no heck. Then let's dive into dive into the pod here. I'll take a step back and we'll do the intro and all that fun stuff. How about that, Kyle?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Hold on. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. 4K. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. Wow! 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. 2K, 4K. Hell yeah, that's right. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. 2K, 4K podcast, the one and only. What's up, Kyle? How's it going, buddy?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back on the pod with you.
Thank you, man. No, I'm glad to be back here with you as well, man. It's been a while. Again, thank you, everybody, for the patience. Opportunity of a lifetime. Got to take advantage of it, plain and simple. And, we're not going to give up on this pod. We're still going to keep it rolling here. So, the 2K, 4K podcast, baby. Like I said, the one and only. So, let's get into it, man. Dude, how you been? I know we've been hanging out the last couple of weekends, but, overall, how are you feeling about, your them Las Vegas Raiders? How you feeling about them? The Raiders. Yesterday was talk like a pirate day. So, how you be feeling about your Raiders?
They should have walked the plank last week.
He just swept the poop deck.
After that disgusting performance. No, I mean, it's like I said, Bills coming off a loss. Talked about that earlier. Bills coming off a loss.
Yeah.
They're definitely not starting 0-2. Sort of expected it. I either thought, so if it was going to be a close game, I thought maybe if it's a close game, the Raiders squeak a win out. But if it wasn't a close game, I figured it was going to be a blowout like it was last week. And I'm not going to get too down. I mean, it sucked. Obviously, I hate losing. I'm not even technically part of the team, but I'm part of Raider Nation, and we hate freaking losing. But I liked what I seen week one. We didn't quit week one, and there was a lot of times where we could have just said, okay, maybe we'll get them next week. But if we can just play like we did week one a little, and improve on that, I think we'll be fine. The biggest thing is we got to get JJ, number 8, Josh Jacobs, going. Negative rushing yards last week. That can't happen again. Jimmy's going to have to stretch down. I know he doesn't. That's not his mantra, but he's going to have to push the ball down the field. He's got Devontae. What he did last week in the fourth quarter with
Where's Hunter Renfrow? Where's he at? What's going on with him? Where's Jacoby Myers? What's going on?
Jacoby was out last week with the concussion.
Okay.
Hunter.
Then you had Andre Carter, right?
He's hardly ever in there, dude. I don't know. We usually kicks and
they wasted 0 on a player that barely's there.
Yeah, I mean.
Right? Any number 0?
He's number 3.
I'm sorry. That's how much he stands out.
Well, and then Hunter finally, no targets week 1 target last week, 1 catch, 23 yards in junk time. I don't know, dude. The rumors earlier in the offseason was the Raiders want to trade Hunter. And then they keep him. They don't trade him. And I'm thinking, okay, that was all smoke. There's no truth to that. But now we're not even freaking using him. So why not trade him? Poor guy's on the milk carton because we don't know where he is. He's missing.
Yeah, no, it's a damn shame. I love you some third and Renfrow all day. All day I love me some third and Renfrow, man. But, I always said that Jimmy...
Is, if you go back and watch it, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you go back and watch the game again, every time Renfrow's in, not every time, but there was a lot of opportunities. And Josh McDaniels even alluded to that after the game and Monday at his presser, that there was a lot of opportunities getting the ball, and for whatever reason, the ball didn't go there. So... That speaks to Jimmy not reading the defense and the field and the situation. So, Jimmy, get a little bit better with that. And I did hear last week that he only actually got to get sucked off 1 time before the game, so I think that played a lot of part in it.
It's cold up in Buffalo, even this time of the year. Of course, I know we're starting to get into the fall, which I'm so excited for, sweater weather and long sleeves, Also, I'll get into the shirt here in a minute, but it's that time of the year. But if he's not getting sucked off more than twice, it's not a good situation. I've always said that Jimmy G is like Teddy Bridgewater. They're the same quarterback outside of a couple pair of gloves. And yeah, I mean, even if Teddy Two Gloves is getting sucked off 2 times, I don't see him performing. You know, he's a great backup, but you know, of course, I'm throwing Jimmy G in the same hat as that. And in all reality, man, Josh McDaniels wants to run this Patriot offense in the West, and Jimmy G is supposed to be the guy that can easily acclimate because he played under the system and knows how to do it. But damn, dude, like, it's weird. Like, Tom Brady could do it all. Like, Tom Brady literally could do it all. He was not like, at first, like, we always kind of saw that he had a good big play arm, but in terms of his him being a tacticianer, just like dumping it off to Wes Welker and then running, like, before that he did running backs, and Josh McDaniels was part of all that. I really thought that Jimmy G would be lighting it up with Hunter Renfrow. I thought it would be like a Cooper Kupp situation with Hunter Renfrow. I swear to you, because of Josh McDaniels. And it shows the power of the GOAT. Tom Brady, I think it seems like he wanted this because Jimmy G was supposed to be Tom Brady adjacent in terms of a playability at the time they drafted him, and that's why Jimmy G went to San Fran, because it boiled down to Belichick wanting Jimmy G, getting rid of Tom, and Tom was like, no, I'm not going, and then Robert Kraft's like, I love my Tommy, and they dumped Jimmy G, and the rest is history. And
okay.
Yeah, I thought I'd see more of Patriot offense over here in Las Vegas.
But here's the thing: it's still early. Jimmy missed a lot of the off season. At times, we watched the first 2 weeks together. At times, you can see how comfortable he is. At times.
Yeah. Well,
It's
yeah.
Not, now,
he looks good.
He needs to make that more consistent. 3 turnovers in 3 games.
He's pretty.
Not very happy with that. But at times, he looks like, okay, that's why they brought him in. Like, he was doing some things where Derek wasn't doing last year. But last week was just all bad. Like, when it's bad, it's bad, and it was bad last week.
He's definitely more efficient, and this is the thing. They need to be able to run the ball, and Jimmy G's never going to get you back in a game. A lot would have to happen, and this is the sad truth of it. When you're a game manager, you manage the game the entire time. There's no, even when you're up, it's like even the early days where he started lighting it up with San Fran, they were doing a lot of intermediate stuff, and he had Debo just tear up. And Devontae's great, but he's not that guy. And he's a big play guy.
You're right. Here's the thing, though. If they can get that run game going, that play action will be there, and Jimmy is really good with play action.
Right. But one thing has to work for that to happen.
Yes, we got to get the run game going. Like, it's been unacceptable the first 2 weeks. Devontae almost got his head taken off in garbage time last week. That pissed me off. Like, Jimmy, why are you throwing that ball into double coverage and letting Devontae get his head taken off?
Yeah.
You don't do that to your best player. Bottom line. He should have been taken out. Maybe Devontae didn't want to be taken out. Who knows? But you just don't do that. Now, here's what I'm going to say. You know this from when the very first day Josh McDaniels got hired. We were in a group chat.
Hold on. Before you say it.
But now the forbidden fruit must be tasted.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
We were in a group chat. Everybody wanted my opinion. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. If you look at the history of coaches under Bill Belichick, for whatever reason, his knowledge doesn't rub off on any of his other coaches for whatever reason. Don't know why. I think Bill Belichick is a hell of a coach. Now, with that being said, he was a hell of a coach for a lot of years because of Tom Brady. We were having that debate when Tom Brady left. Okay, this is Bill Belichick's chance. Was it all Tom or was it all Bill, or was it, a little mixture? I think it was a little bit of a mixture early on, but then I think Tom took it over. With that being said, The only really successful coach, and it's only at a college level, was under Bill Belichick, was Nick Saban. Eric Mangini flamed out. New York Jets and Browns didn't do well.
Yeah, he had a hot moment, but he definitely
Char-
flared out.
Charlie Whitehurst, head coach, terrible. Romeo Crennel, head coach, terrible. Bill,
Hey, Romeo Crennel, great coordinator though.
great coordinator.
That's the thing, great
I'm
coordinator.
talking about head coach though. Like when they move on to be head coach.
Oh, transition to yeah, you're right. Well, Charlie Weiss. Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, Weiss. Sorry, Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss, big man Charlie Weiss, man. Yeah, he had a stint in Notre Dame, didn't never won any big games, and I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I don't know why I'm saying Notre Dame did anything. They didn't, so.
It's typical
Yeah,
Notre Dame.
bad
Overrated-
coach.
Overrated every year.
Overrated. I was like, well, he was a coach at Notre Dame. That's basically how I said that, right?
And
That's what it was.
And that comment's going to bite me in the ass this week if they beat the freaking Buckeyes, but they're usually
Hey, no, I'll tell you, this is a shout out to a friend of ours. There's a Hartman playing quarterback at Notre Dame, and it's hard to root against that guy.
Well, here's the thing.
I see our friend Hartman.
Sam Hartman, he's pretty good. He's not bad, but
Sam, that's him.
yeah. I really like Mark.
He has a cousin that we're friends with.
Yeah, I really like Marcus Freeman. And he's an Ohio State boy too, but I really like Marcus Freeman. I think he was a good hire after Brian Kelly left. So we'll see what happens. But Buckeyes really aren't playing that good. But getting back to the whole head coaching thing, we talked about Charlie Weiss. We talked about Romeo Crennel. Bill O'Brien, he was okay in Houston for a little while. And then he
Won a playoff game.
He did win a playoff game against the third-string quarterback with against the Raiders.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. What a fall from grace. His last name's Cook.
Yep.
Right.
Connor
Cook. Oh. I remember texting my uncle, and I was like, "It's a real shame that Derek's hurt."
Yeah.
Because this team's good enough. Because this was what, year one of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Young Josh Jacobs, John Gruden.
No.
Right.
It wasn't John. It was Jack Del Rio.
Oh, it was last year, Jack Del Rio.
It wasn't even Josh Jacobs yet. It was Latavius Murray.
Sorry, yes, but they had something going on there. They had a good situation. I liked the situation there, but yeah, they thumped the Raiders.
That was the year that everybody was like, "Man, this Raiders team is damn good. Like they could make a hell of a run in the playoffs."
A Raider playoff team, man.
And then
Raider playoff team.
And then what happens 2 weeks before the postseason? We leave Derek Carr in when we're up by 20 against the Colts, and he breaks his leg.
Breaks his freaking leg,
dude.
And the rest is history.
Christmas Eve. Down in Georgia, man cave, watching it with my dad. I'm like,
if you're listening to NSYNC,
I'm like,
Merry Christmas.
I'm like, if Derek,
Merry Christmas.
I look over and say to my dad before Derek goes back on the field, I said they need to pull him. We're up big. We're gonna win this game. They need to pull him. He goes out there, breaks his freaking leg.
Breaks his leg. They're like, nah, man, we need to blame him for the next 9 years. That's what they said.
I mean, honestly, dude, like ever since then, I don't care what anybody says, he hasn't been the same. But that's besides the point.
Because he was extremely fast.
It wasn't even about that.
He was quick. He could move.
Yeah, he moved.
He could move, but his I guess his intangibles were better. The way he played, it seemed like he had a plan, and he had a second plan, and he had a third plan, and now he don't got any plans.
Yep.
And it's funny, he squeezed a game out here in New Orleans, and in Carolina, right?
Carolina, yep.
Yeah, and 2-0 New Orleans Saints, man.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Raiders.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Raiders. Sorry.
You know what? I'm not going to hate on him. I'm going to say this. He's been very respectful of his compliments of the Raiders since he's been in New Orleans. One day he will sign a one-day contract and retire as a Raider. I firmly believe that. Once a Raider, always a Raider. But I'm going to finish up this coach talk. Usually coaches that – Matt Patricia, another one. Usually coaches that leave Joe Judge, another one. But guys that leave to go and be a head coach somewhere else, it doesn't usually pan out. Brian Flores, another one. Like, I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels completely destroyed Denver, and he's working on completely destroying Vegas. hopefully he learned his lesson. I'm really hoping he did because that was my biggest, like, I was very nervous when we hired him. But now, I mean, you look at it and we're having issues. I mean, Chandler Jones, he was put on the non-football injury list for.
Yeah, we're about to get into headlines here. Let's
Let's get into
let's do that
headlines.
here real quick. Let's get it.
So give me some of those headlines. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it. Give me some
Headlines.
Love
All
it.
right. Thank you. All right. So, as y'all can imagine, we talk about things that happen in sports. Headlines. So, this is what you sent me here, Kyle. And again, this all stems from what happened earlier this year. He thought he was locked out. Started saying some crazy things. How Mark Davis is pimping out some wives, right? Were you saying was that some of the things you saying?
So how it started, how it all started was right before the season, the first game. Chandler Jones, we're talking about, started tweeting like stuff about Josh McDaniels, and Dave Ziegler reached out to his baby mama, and that's not right because they shouldn't be reaching out to her. And now he's locked out of the facility, can't even work out. And then last week it turns into he doesn't have any kids, and he has a stepdaughter.
Does he have any kids, or they took him away?
No, I don't know. Like, and now he's saying he has a goddaughter and someone, like, he's throwing out some very heavy allegations, like about someone molesting her, and Mark Davis is pimping Mark Davis is pimping out wives on the football team, and
Big if true.
and then
Big if true.
big if true, and then literally 2 days ago, he said, "Sorry, y'all, finally got my Twitter back and Instagram back. I was hacked." And then he goes on another tangent with Larry Fitzgerald calling him out.
Oh.
He goes on another tangent with how he loves LeBron James
Leave Larry alone. I'll tell you, Larry
Yeah.
legend.
and how
What a stud. Hall of Famer.
Stud, 100% stud. And then he's mentioning LeBron, and him and LeBron are DMing back and forth, and he's posting that stuff. And then headline comes
Man.
out today that says they put him on a non-football injury list for his mental illness. And listen, mental illness.
See, that's I'm glad. I was gonna say, like, there's too much going on to where there's no way he was hacked, but yeah, this is a mental health issue. This is a mental health issue without question.
It is. It is, and there was a story back when he was in New England. He went to like, you can look it up, people out there, but he's had a history with this. It seems like mental illness is nothing, and I don't know Chandler from, like, I don't know him personally or anything. Just know what he does on the football field. Hell of a player.
I mean, he's your cousin, for God's sakes.
Yeah, my cousin. I don't talk to him, but he's I mean, he's a hell of a football player. When healthy, he wasn't really healthy last year, so his numbers were down. But he's had a hell of a career. I just hope he gets the help that he needs. Mental illness is not a thing to
Ain't nothing to fuck with.
It ain't nothing. No, it ain't. It's not. And then for people out there laughing at, it's not nothing to laugh about. Like,
It's a serious thing.
I deal with anxiety. I deal with depression. I deal with it. And there's a lot of people out there that deal with something like this. So I'm looking straight at the camera right now because this is a very serious issue. Hopefully he gets the help he needs. Will we ever see him back on the football field? I don't know. I think that's secondary to what he needs to focus on now, though.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. One thing I do like here, though, it says the team has stood behind him and no one has ruled out a return if his situation improves. So, of course, we hope for, speedy recovery. However, in a situation like this, man, one, is it worth it? The quality of life. Guy has done plenty, has won his Super Bowls, plenty of sacks. The guy's a stud, all-pro player. Maybe a late-round Hall of Famer. I don't want to get into that right now, but dude was on some good teams, and he was the great edge rusher on those great teams, especially in New England early on. But Yeah, sad situation. You know, you just hope for the best in that guy because again, we're all just people.
Yep.
There's mental illness ain't nothing to fuck with.
It's not.
Plain and simple.
It's not. And
It
hopefully,
ain't nothing to fuck with.
hopefully he just hopefully he's just thinking about himself and his life and things like that first. Don't even worry about getting on the football field right now. Just focus on yourself and get whatever you need to get cleared up. And if we ever see you back out there, great. And if not, hopefully everything works out for you in the long run. What else we got?
Oh, so I basically am just gonna scroll through a couple weeks of misplaced headlines. Of course, I'm just trying to catch up just to see where we're at here. But Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson, I'm not aware if they played the last couple weeks or not because it's funny. Packers are not really on my radar. Watching football, I've been checking out, the Falcons. I've been watching the Seahawks. I've been it's fantasy football season too. So I'm watching teams, Chicago Bears, and I'm watching teams that are, they got my guys on it, and I'm watching the Saints too. Rashid Shaheed, I love you. He's the reason why I'm 2-0 in 2 leagues right now. So
There you go.
Dude's a dog, yeah. But
they played week 1. They did not play last week. Not even that, but Bach was also out last week, Bakhtiari. So he's still dealing with that knee that he's had an issue with for the past 2 years. Cooper Kupp transition to the Rams. He's out too. He's on injury reserve for the first 4 games at least. I tell you,
so that's what I thought. See, that's tough.
I tell you what, though, they look pretty damn good. Still without Cooper. When Cooper comes back, man, I still have faith in Matt Stafford. They look all right.
Yeah, and jumping the gun here. Another thing going on with the Rams. It's funny. I picked up Tutu Atwell. Love his play style. Small guy, probably weighs $170, $165, soaking wet. And him and Puka Nakua have been focal points of this offense. And who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Puka has been the best pickup in fantasy football.
Yeah, no. And what's terrible, I didn't think he'd do anything, so I was like, I'll take Tutu Atwell. I know what he's capable of. I had no. They didn't have a picture of Puka Nakua in ESPN Fantasy's depth chart, or they didn't have a picture of him. And like, what the hell is this? Is this Madden?
He's like one of those Madden players where.
Yeah. But I will say, of course, Cooper Kupp is old news, and it's funny. We got, we still got 1 more week to see whether or not he'll be out for the next couple of weeks or available to play. That hamstring has been a terrible situation for him, and
it's a soft.
I hope for the best because it's sad.
Soft tissue injuries are always hard to come back from. Look at Darren Waller; he's still struggling with it, but his is more.
Right.
He said last week his is more of a nerve issue. I mean, he still played pretty well last week. But
yeah.
Who's been your most disappointing team this year? Out of 2 weeks.
Most disappointing team. Oh, geez. I'll give you a couple. So I think it's the disappointing teams. I think the Steelers. I was surprised about the Bengals, and I think everything that I said, as a what if, is true because, that team runs through Joe Burrow, regardless of how good that running game is. Joe Burrow makes that team tick, and for some reason, no matter how many guys they get to come in and try to block for this man, it can't happen. You see that week 1. Hold on here, I'm backing out of this. You see that week 1 video of Myles Garrett just having a field day against his center right here. Here we are. If you're looking here on the screen here, it just he shows him what he's going to do, and he just boom makes a move, no problem, no big deal. And yeah, I mean Myles Garrett's one of the best in the league, if not the best pass rusher in the league. And beyond that, he shouldn't be on the ground that much. And yeah, dude's been
he might not play Monday.
Dude's been looking rough. Yeah, he's been looking really rough. But
Yeah, and that's going to be another blow for Cincinnati if Burrow can't. He aggravated his calf injury from the summer. He might not be able to play Monday.
yeah.
I'll give you two of mine. Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos.
Oh yeah, the Bears look pretty rough.
We
man.
heard so much.
It-
We heard so much all-season hype about Justin Fields, and I love him. Ohio State. I'm gonna take credit for that, even though he ended up in Georgia first, but he's still an Ohio State quarterback. He played there 2 years. Or was it just a year? It might have only been a year. Can't remember. But anyway,
there was
I'll take credit for Justin Fields at Ohio State, and then Denver. I thought Russ would go back to his old self a little bit more, and it seems like he hasn't. And I'm going to read you this that I seen earlier today. It was posted by ML Football on Twitter or X.
okay.
Drama. Broncos head coach Sean Payton appears to be blaming quarterback Russell Wilson for Denver's early struggles and 0-2 start this season. There were a number of drives where we were late with personnel getting out of the huddle. We took a while. That has to change. We had to burn timeouts in the first half, and I'm not used to doing that. We have to be better. I have to be better. Russ has to be sharper with getting the play out, and then we have to look at how much we have in. If we need to wristband it, we will. So
They should be wristbanding it. I don't know why they're not messing around like that.
So, the thing about it is, they blew a monster lead to Washington, who's my surprise team. Like I only had them winning 4 games this year, and they're 2-0.
I knew they'd at least go 8-9 or 9-8, depending on the momentum of the team. And hey, Sam Howell.
Yeah,
Sam Howell, man.
They're my most surprised team.
Eric Bieniemy.
Dude, I'll give Eric Bieniemy. I didn't think he was going to be. I thought it was mainly Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but Eric Bieniemy, good job. He's putting Sam Howell in a very good position to succeed.
You see the stat right here?
I do.
Sam Howell became the first QB in franchise history to win his first 3 starts
yep.
since 1950.
Yep. I mean, Sam Howell.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's been, and then it goes back to Ron Rivera last year saying he didn't realize until late in the year that Sam Howell was the best quarterback on the team. Like, to me, Ron, I love you, but are you starting to lose the step? I mean, you had freaking Carson Wentz throwing interceptions out the wazoo, and then you wait until the last game of the year and put Sam in.
Yeah, and it's throughout the offseason, he talked about how if he knew this guy was on the bench, they would have thrown him in. I'm like, how do you not know already?
Yeah.
Like you're a head coach, you're not a defensive coordinator. And I would say even a defensive coordinator would know who the best quarterback on the team is.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well,
and again, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Again, Heineke, Carson Wentz. It's wild that Carson Wentz was on that team last year. It really is.
It is.
And Sam Howell's just sitting there chilling.
Yeah.
Of course, rookie, but 5th round pick. But diamond in the rough. What a crazy opportunity. And I know in our pregame we were talking about the Chargers. But the Chargers are the only team to ever start 0-2 despite scoring 50-plus points with no turnovers.
And
All right, you want to talk about, again, elite, but the way they find to lose. They find ways to lose.
Dude,
they do.
Brandon,
It boils down to them scoring another down, getting another conversion, scoring a touchdown, big drive, can't close it.
It's the Brandon Staley
Can't close the
effect,
deal.
bro. It's the Brandon Staley effect. He's calling the defensive plays. He has dogs on defense. His defense is not bad. He's got 2 bookend defenders. He's got a back end who second to none. Like, he's got so much talent, and he still can't get it done. Brandon Staley is epically probably the worst coach I've seen in a long time, and that he's worse than Josh McDaniels.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. Yeah, you guys got a slew of coaches in the West there. And when I mean slew, you get two. You know, and that being the Chargers and of course the Las Vegas Raiders.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame because again, anyone
Dude,
anyone takes that team on Madden right now.
it's the blown leads, dude. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
last year, AFC wild card. They're up against Jacksonville big.
30-0.
They find a way to lose that game. They're up
Yeah.
against Miami late. They find a way to lose that game. They're up against Tennessee. Tennessee comes back, ties, and then Tennessee goes on to win in overtime. Tell me who's to blame in that. I know players have to make the plays and things like that, but Brandon Staley's the one that's calling the defensive plays, and Brandon Staley's the one, in my opinion,
See,
that's giving up the leads.
I don't like that. I'm really biased, you know. I mean, if the coach got to call the offensive plays, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. On the defensive side, you need multiple eyes. Like I like my coach being up in a booth, you know, watching the overhead of the game, seeing the formation or seeing the personnel come in and out. Like there's so much going on I think on a defensive standpoint to where, you know, again, you can call what you want and run what you want based off what you've planned, but you need to be able to see the personnel coming in and out. And that's a huge part of, you know, basically matching up your defense to then, you know, counterpoint and, you know, dominate. And if you're doing that on a regular level, I think you're at a disadvantage.
I agree.
Yeah, that's I have a huge Rosie. What? Open the door. Go on. Open the door. I was just like, wait a minute, what the hell is that moaning? I was like, is my house possessed?
Little,
By,
little Rosie back there making an appearance. on the ball.
By a beautiful pup. Hold on one second here. This is great live radio right here. It's great live radio. All right, it's funny. She was just trying to go out, and she don't need me to go out, but you know that's how it goes.
It is what it is.
That's just how it goes.
Um,
But back to the Rams though, real quick. I will say, you know, again, Tutu Atwell doing phenomenal. Again, this Puka Nakua guy, incredible. Broke the records for most catches in a player's first 2 games, and most catches in one game by a rookie. Just racking them, dude. Again, did not anticipate this happening, and you know a lot of things happening with the Rams right now. They're sellers once again. You know, instead of it being picks, it's a player.
Cam Akers.
You know,
he went to
the
Minnesota,
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very big surprise there. I actually thought that now, you know, they're in a good situation right now, but it's all about depth. I really thought that the Ravens were going to go after Cam Akers. You know, they're one of the teams on the watch list. And, you know, of course, today they closed a deal out with Minnesota.
The Raiders
You know?
were also in on that. There's multiple teams. I'm surprised. It
Yeah.
only took
I don't know
sixth
why the
round.
Raiders, though.
Yeah, I think it only took a 6th round anyway. They got a.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota makes sense. That they're hurting without Dalvin Cook. They really are.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Kirk Cousins still doing a great job.
He's
However,
still cooking.
he is cooking, yeah.
still
But
cooking.
it's not enough to get the job done, you know. This team can't be just an air raid offense.
No. I'll tell you another disappointing team. Giants. especially week one. I know Dallas is good, but Giants look like hot garbage up until the third quarter
That
last week.
that was a complete debacle.
Yeah.
A complete debacle. I was so blown away by the outcome of that game. For it to blow out like that, it was straight up like a Madden game where the meter goes way off and that you just can't come back. That's exactly what happened there. But week 2, going down to the wire, facing the Cardinals.
Yeah, a bad Cardinals team.
Yeah, and it's funny how that's panning out with the Cardinals. They're just tanking in the most beautiful fashion. Like, we're going to go toe-to-toe with Josh Dobbs and company, and
We're going to get our fans.
we're going to find a way to lose.
We're just going to lose.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like, it's almost like the like 2 games in a row. The owners probably went to Steichen and went, "All right, hey, we get it. You can coach, right? Is it Shane Steichen, right?
Yeah.
Like, we get it. You can coach.
It's not like he's in Indy. It's Gannon or whatever.
Damn it. Oh, Gannon, Coach Gannon. Yeah,
It's
not Rich Gannon.
no,
It's poor
I
Gannon.
don't even think it's pronounced Gannon Gannon or something. I don't know. It's
No, it's definitely Gannon.
Philadelphia old defense coordinator.
If his name's Gannon, I would call him Q Gannon.
Well, but here's the thing. Look at what he did look what he did in the Super Bowl. He did not adjust in the second half, and he got beat by Pat.
He stopped blitzing too. That was such a sad game. That was such a sad second half for a D coordinator in that team.
They did the same thing with Arizona against the Giants. They were dominating that game. Second half, he comes out. He goes, "All right, boys, time to let them come back and win, so we can get that first overall pick." Like, that's how I.
No. He didn't say that. They came over and said, "All right, hey, Gannon, we get it. You can coach. Just please, Josh Dobbs isn't the future." And they're like, he's like, "Oh, okay,
Neither's Kyler Murray.
I get it." And then gave him a wink. Yeah, Kyler Murray's playing fucking Call of Duty right now. Let's say it. It's 10:50 here in the East Coast, so I'm saying maybe. Well, of course it's 7:50 back where he's at, so he's playing Call of Duty right now. Don't you get me wrong. He's playing zombies with his friends. He's probably he's probably eating Funyuns. There's a new flavor of Funyuns out. Did you see it?
I did not. I love that.
Spicy queso. Oh, it's like something like that. Yeah, it's deadly. It is deadly. I don't even know if I have it in this. It is so good. It hurts so good.
Did you see the big news, though, in Chicago?
Oh, what about Chase Claypool being terrible? Are you talking about that? You want to see that film real quick?
Not Chase Claypool.
You want to see this real quick? Just watch this guy. He's number 10. Drops the ball. Goes to block, holds him.
Yeah, Chase Claypool apologized for his performance week 1.
They want to cut him.
Yeah, they basically told
He didn't block a soul.
They basically said if he don't start performing better, he's going to be cut. But
He's total trash, man. What a bum. Best thing Steelers ever done.
Justin Fields, I don't know what's going on with him. He's blaming coaches now, blaming offensive coordinator, saying basically that's why he's doing bad. But I mean,
Oh, you talking about this play right here?
how don't you throw the ball there? Like, that's like freaking that's the Y button in Madden. Like, just hurry up and hit the Y button. Hurry up and hit
Easy.
it.
Well, you press and hold it.
Yeah, well, you press and hold it for a line drive, but no. Big news is I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm trying to be a good journalist here, and I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to just go off of what I've read online, but their defense coordinator resigned today, Alan Williams. He said
Who?
Alan Williams, their defense coordinator for the Bears, resigned today.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. We'll go to that real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a crazy situation.
Supposedly, Hallis Hall was raided by FBI. They came out and said that was false. Then they said that Alan Williams' home was raided by the FBI, and Peanut Tillman's an FBI agent now, and he was the one that told all the brass.
Peanut Tillman's an FBI agent?
That's what they're saying.
Whoa.
And he's the one that told the brass of the Bears that his home was raided, blah, blah, blah. But the reports are coming out that Peanut Tillman had nothing to do with that. per Rap Sheet. Ian Rappaport tweeted earlier basically saying that update on the Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams. He resigned this morning. Clarity, the FBI did not raid Hallis Hall today. The league is not involved, and Peanut Tillman is not involved whatsoever on this matter. So whether or not his house did actually get raided, still up in the air. Don't know exactly why he resigned yet.
This might be fake news.
It might be, but that's just for
Wow.
all the future journalists out there. Before you report something, make sure it's accurate.
Yeah, man, wrap it before you tap it. There's no reason to throw it out slinging like that. There's no reason.
No.
It's a crazy ass story, Kyle.
Yep, it is, and I mean,
Big if true.
it is. He definitely resigned today, but like I said, there's still a lot of things, question marks out there. So, again, I just wanted to bring that up because if you're a journalist, don't just start tweeting things that you don't actually have.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of resigning
Yeah.
and allegations,
Mel Tucker.
crazy situation. Mel Tucker, yeah, Michigan State. Yeah, the sexual allegations, and his biggest thing that he tried saying that the woman was consensual, and
The biggest
that's irrelevant to the fact,
The
man.
biggest thing on this story was supposedly Michigan State knew about this since December of last year and still let him coach until things got leaked. Once things got leaked, that's when they're like, "Oh, hold on, we can't have this on our name, so you're being suspended without pay immediately, and also
See-
we're terminating you immediately." Listen, whether it's consensual or not, whatever happened. I don't know. It wasn't there, but I hate big corporations that try to save face last minute.
Yeah. It just boils down to money. That's all it boils down to. You know, the only reason why they care is that it now affects their pocket, which, I mean, I don't know how they don't know that already. Like, I think they should just start being smart about it. And, like, if it is always a financial decision, then the moment you find out about it, you're like, okay, well, how can we fire him? Do we have to pay him off? Cool. Who can we get to pay him off? Let's get this done now.
Yep.
Like, instead of just, like, letting it pass. Because that's all this is. You know, it's such a sad thing that there's no morals in college football whatsoever. You know, it never boiled down to the integrity of college football. Never did, Kyle.
Nope.
And now we're at this point to where they are making people not look as bad as they are. They're protecting these predators, all right? And what I don't get, Kyle, is they already had this horrible situation with Larry Nasser, all right?
Yep.
And again, apples and oranges in this regard, but it is still a fruit in this situation. Like, I don't know how you don't nip this in the bud immediately. And they let this stew. And now we're week 5 of the college football season. And right, is it 4 or 5?
Technically
4.
Technically 5 because
Technically 5.
yeah.
Okay.
um,
But
Big-
we're in week 5, and you're gonna let this fucking stew, and now everyone's ready to eat.
yeah, exactly. It's just a messed up situation all around. I'm sure, like, there's always two sides to the story, and then there's the truth in the middle. Like I said, it's hard to comment on this. Another, journalist thing. I don't know all the facts, don't have the sources, whatever. But did read things where those college knew about this since last December. So as soon as you get something like this, he should have probably been suspended immediately, and then you conduct your investigation. Don't wait until it gets freaking leaked to the media. Like, hey, there's been this investigation ongoing. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait until it gets leaked and then try to save face, because that don't look good.
Yeah, that's in the end. That's all they're trying to do. And the sooner you take care of it, the sooner it'll be, over. There's no other way of cutting it there, Kyle.
Yep.
It's a bowl of it's a bowl of bullshit. Bullshit. But I guess let's stay on a serious note here. That situation that happened with Danny Masterson, he's gonna get 30 years, Kyle.
I've seen that.
I loved that 70s show. He played Hyde on there, and how everything is kind of blossomed from him getting convicted. The article I'm posting up here. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, outside of the allegations and then proven allegations, they still stand behind him. And again, I loved that show. I love that 70s show so much, man. It was a big part of my childhood, especially when it came out. And I revisited it actually. Well, when it came on to Peacock, so I was like, "Oh hell yeah! I can binge watch that 70s show. Game over." And then these things came out again, and I totally forgot that Masterson was a Scientologist, Kyle. I completely forgot, and that's when it changed. I was like, "Oh shit, he's a piece of shit. Oh no, fuck."
Yeah,
fuck. And then
it's crazy, man. It's all crazy. Sometimes you get this big payday, and I'm trying to, allegedly. I mean, I know he's already been convicted, so not necessarily allegedly anymore. But
he's convicted. No, we could talk. We can talk president.
People, athletes, celebrities, whatever the case may be, get these big paydays, and sometimes you don't know how to act, and it catches up with you.
Yeah.
I did not see that. Ashton Kutcher says Danny Masterson bet him to make out with an underage Mila Kunis.
Kyle, there's quite the slew of there's a paper trail. There's a comment when that 70s show first came out. He was on Conan, the Late Late Show, Danny Masterson, and it was his first time being on a late show or a Tonight Show of any kind. So he was trying to break the ice and talk about how he's transitioning his accent from Long Island to, him living out in Southern California. And then he made a joke about his balls. There's a certain way you say things from Long Island. And Conan was like, "I've heard about you and you'll be found soon." And of course, they're all joking. And Danny's like, "You're right." And it's just a weird video. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, you can check it out. But yeah, it's just there's proof in the pudding, man. And that's, again, it all kind of hit on me. It hit me all at once when the Post or the breaking news said that he wasn't. Hold on one second, sorry. Sorry about that. But she thought she could be seen. I was like, "You can't be seen. You're fine." Yeah, it's just a crazy situation with how it's all unfolded. You and I are best friends, but if someone's guilty, they're fucking guilty.
Yep.
And yeah, they've backtracked and all that stuff. And Ashton Kutcher apparently was a part of a trafficking group that tried to minimize this problem that we have in America, and he resigned from it. It's crazy. Don't mean to unfold onto it too much, but this happened about a week or so ago, and I only wanted to touch on it because of how important it is to, always speak out.
Yes.
Whatever the case may be, talk about it. I know it's sometimes easy to keep things in. Don't.
Yep.
Seek out, find somebody.
Yep.
Fuck Danny Masterson, piece of shit.
Piece of shite.
Piece of shit. Sorry about what happened to Aaron. That was a sad thing.
Yeah, we didn't
move
get to
on.
talk, but yeah, I didn't think he was coming back next year, but sounds like
he said maybe January.
Yeah, playoff season. So we'll see. I don't think they're making.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I don't think they're making playoffs now.
No, but
what else do we have? I feel like there's another big one.
we could talk about I know this is just the story that's sweeping college football. You know, Colorado.
Yeah.
I got a couple clips here.
My boy, Coach Prime. You know,
Yeah, no, I love Coach Prime. Everything he's doing is fantastic.
yeah. This is gonna come up in my parlay talk in a little bit, but Buffs over Oregon this week.
Ooh, okay. Of course, we're talking about the Colorado Buffaloes. They played the Colorado State.
Rams.
Oh, what's the Rams? Thank you very much. That's what I thought it was. But tough matchup, man. I'm telling you, in a good team wins close games, and that's what they did. But there's one play that stood out from all of it that actually ended up putting a player in the hospital. That's Travis Hunter getting hit by this number 11, and a lot. Hey, it's football, but it was a dirty hit. Honestly, you see him hit, and you know exactly what he was doing. Of course, we can say this from the outside as a fan, but of course, we'll show this clip here of Coach Prime, and he'll
Coach Coach Prime.
Class act.
Yeah, 100% class act. And we're gonna show this. Let's show this clip real quick, and then I'll follow up.
1 second here. We'll first show a couple here. Colorado State DB Henry Blackburn, that's the number 11 there, has been receiving death threats over his late hit that sent Travis Hunter to the hospital with a lacerated liver. And that's tough, dude. I'll tell you, again, the hit was gruesome, and it was inflicted. So Blackburn had his home address and phone number leaked on social media after the game, and he and his family have been bombarded with death threats and consistent harassment. Honestly, that is taking it too far, but damn, dude, it was a shitty hit, plain and simple, but to take it that far, it's fucked up. He's still a kid. But here's Coach Prime.
You guys to record this and run with this. Henry Blackburn is a good player who played a phenomenal game. He made a tremendous hit on Travis on the sideline. You could call it dirty. You could call it he was just playing the game of football. But whatever it was, it does not constitute that he should be receiving death threats. This is still a young man trying to make it in life, a guy that's trying to live his dream and hopefully graduate with honors or degree, committed to excellence, and go to the NFL. He does not deserve a death threat over a game. At the end of the day, this is a game. Someone must win, someone must lose. Everybody continues their life the next day. Very unfortunate. I'm saddened if there's any of our fans that's on the other side of those threats. I would hope and pray not, but that kid was Henry Blackburn. I want you guys to record this and run with this.
Oh, wow, that was it. Okay.
Coach Prime is an example of a guy. He's a father figure to many.
Yeah.
And he gets these kids on the right track. He wants what's best for these kids. And for him to stand up there, or sit up there, and talk about this kid, Henry Blackburn, who doesn't even play for him. He could have been a typical coach, and said that was a cheap shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets what he gets. The thing about it is, we've seen this play happen several times. There's teams that out there, most of the time, guys try to take care of each other. There are some times where, in the late 70s, 80s, look at Lynn Swann and Jack Tatum coming over the middle. What did Tatum do to Lynn Swann? Took his head off damn near, right?
Of course, that was a different time, but I agree with that. Yeah,
that was a different time period. I get it, but I'm just saying, for a coach to be able to do that, that's an example. That's if I had a kid right now going to college, and if he was athletic enough and had offers from Ohio State and Florida or whatever the case may be in Colorado, I'd be like, you're playing for Coach Prime in Colorado, because he's going to treat you right. He's going to get the most out of you. He's going to teach you life lessons. That right there is a life lesson. It's just a game. He said it best. There's a team that's going to win. There's a team that's going to lose. These type of plays are going to happen. That kid made a bad judgment call. He does not deserve the death threats. Bottom line, period, the end. So whoever leaked the address of this kid, shame on you. Whoever's sending these death threats, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Bottom line is, it shouldn't happen. It's very unfortunate. He made a bad judgment call. He made a bad hit, a cheap hit, dirty hit, whatever you want to call it. But he even went on to say in a longer video, Travis Hunter has forgiven him. The players has forgiven him. Coach Prime's forgiven him. Why can't other people forgive him? If the guy that has a lacerated liver forgives the guy that made the hit, then everybody else should forgive him too. Bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. But enough with the. I guess we'll shift to some sadness and get a little light here. Kareem Hunt, of course, he's been a free agent for the last couple of in the entire offseason. No one's really looked at him. The Saints did for a little bit because Alvin Kamara got a couple weeks sitting out, but it looks like he's going to be having a reunion here with the Cleveland Browns because of Nick Chubb. And all they got is Jerome Ford in the backfield. I really like Jerome Ford, but, Nick Chubb can easily take the toll of two backs. And, it's funny enough, they kept him, Kareem Hunt, to the end of his contract to try to, elongate Nick Chubb's career. And, it's just a bad circumstance how that play panned out. But I'm glad he'll be back and on a team.
And it's smart. I mean, he already knows the playbook. So he's going to play this week. He's going to suit up. Jerome Ford's probably going to be the starter this week. But Kareem Hunt, I like Jerome Ford a lot. I'd pick him up in fantasy. But Kareem Hunt's going to probably end up being the starter later on. That's just my opinion.
My question is where's Leonard Fournette gonna land?
Dude, I think he's done.
Really?
Yeah,
you think he's done?
I think he's done.
Wow. See that's a shocker to hear. I playoff Lenny, man, what a time.
I mean, maybe playoff run, but I don't think he's getting in there before the playoffs. But
really?
Yeah, I don't. But I mean, look at this list. Zach Moss, Jerome Ford headlining it. This is a good waiver list right here.
See, it's terrible. I cut Tank Dell in both my leagues, and now he's gone. I needed, how one league is set up, man. If I have a quantity of running backs, I am more likely to succeed because, the depth charts are so wonky. Excuse me. If you have good running backs, you don't need as many wide receivers. It's the belly of the beast in a 16-team PPR league, and yeah, I got 5 running backs, dude. I need them because we don't have tight ends as a slot. We have flex, and of course and yeah, that's the best benefit you got. If you got 3 wide receivers, great, but you're going to be starting three running backs, and it's all about the sharing, who's getting the ball the most, and the running back is more likely.
Yep. And
that's the whole bullshit of it's the year of the running back, man, and they're not getting paid. One of the best in the league gets hurt. It's a damn shame.
And he was on that Zoom call.
It's a damn shame. Yeah.
And now the NFL is suing the NFLPA, saying that agents and things like that are telling running backs to exaggerate injuries and stuff to get paid more. Like, NFL, go to fucking hell.
You can't exaggerate that. That's for sure.
Go to hell, NFL. Like, I hate the NFL. Like, I love the NFL, but I hate the people running it. Let me put it that way.
I love the gameplay, but yeah, it's the people running it are stupid. But that usually people with money are stupid. Yep. But
hey,
here we'll
real quick. I see your
sure.
highlight. Shout out to Geno Smith for getting the boys back this week. He had a game.
on my bench, man. And again, real quick, you talked about teams that you were surprised on doing terrible or not, panning out. I got 2 quarterbacks because I took a chance on Justin Fields, and I was like, I need a quarterback that I know will put up points and do well, and it was Geno Smith. So I started Geno Smith week 1, I was like, oh, against the Rams, great. Bam, shut down. And he did slightly worse than Justin Fields. So I was like, oh, I'll just start him next week. And I start Justin Fields, and Geno goes off. So I'm hoping that Geno goes off again. That's just how that goes. But yeah, so we'll get to this play here. We're doing well, technically it would be a jet sweep, but a forward pass.
Yep.
And it did the fake so well that Darnell Taylor thought he had a huge sack, but actually got one of the latest hits you'll ever see. It's pretty great.
Yeah. I know that's
really great.
That's a definition. That's the definition right there of roughing the passer. Instead of these other freaking roughing the passer calls that I don't know how they're roughing the passer, but on that instance right there, if I was the ref, I probably wouldn't have thrown the flag.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Like in all reality, roughing the passer, 100%. It's like him handing the ball off,
Yeah.
and then just like tackling him, knowing it's a run play. But this guy clearly has no clue. Like he stands up and gives his flex, and he's like, "Yeah, baby, I got my sack." Like he's thinking, how many more sacks do I have until I hit my quota to where I'm getting my bonus or potentially another contract, right? He's just like, all right, one down, right? And all these flags are getting tossed on you.
The boys in the locker room are having a field day. The boys.
Oh, yeah, the film day, they're like, yeah, hey, watch the ball, Darnell. Yeah, that's literally what they're saying.
Hey, Darnell, can we see that flex?
Yeah, right. Hey guys, then you probably ask the stat guy. He's like, hey, how many sacks does he have? None. But absolutely incredible. Let me show you this release of this guy. This has been driving me nuts.
Oh my gosh.
I love this.
Oh my gosh, this release is insane.
Dude, from downtown, man.
Yeah, this is insane.
I wonder how big his hands are, because that takes a lot.
I don't.
Most unnecessary movement.
Yeah, that's. Vote for Pedro.
He's gonna get a chance before Tebow does. It's a damn shame.
Dude, like this is insane.
It's a damn shame. I just hope his arm doesn't hurt, because
that's like Tommy.
That would hurt a
John's
lot.
right there, dude. Like,
Dude, that's Tommy John, and that's Willy Wonka. That's
oh man.
That's you name it. Charlie Chaplin. It's all that. His whole shoulder's gone. It's a damn hurts so good. But before we depart here into the final part of our show here, we're gonna talk about some nominees, man. We're getting old, Kyle. We're old motherfuckers now, and guys that we grew up watching are starting to get into the Hall of Fame. It's already starting to happen, but this is just the further down. As we're getting older, here we go, more. And so a couple guys to name a few, of course, Antonio Gates, Haloti Ngata, Jamal Charles, Julius Peppers. Did I say Jordy Nelson, Brandon Marshall? I can't even tell who those other two guys are right there. It's a damn shame, but let me see. I might be able to tell you here. Josh Sitton. He's not shitting anywhere. I apologize. Max Unger.
Yep.
And T.J. Lang. Couple of Packers here, man.
Dude,
Packing it up. Look at that. Three of them right
I
here.
used to always trade for T.J. Lang.
Really?
Madden, yeah.
That's interesting.
Great
All right. Well, he was
offensive line,
good.
man.
T.J. Lang was stud.
He was.
He was a stud.
I think Tony Romo's on that. I just read something today. I don't know if it's factual
He
or
is.
not, but yeah, I think Tony.
This is it right here, actually, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we go to QBs, there he is. So the QBs right now. This is pretty wild. 10 nominees: Mark Bulger, Randall Cunningham, Jake Delhomme, Doug Flutie, Rich Gannon, Jeff Garcia, Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair, R.I.P., Tony Romo, and Michael Vick, the great Michael Vick. And Kyle, I want you to put your bias aside. If we're going, let's go. I like the group, the finalists. But let's do a quick rundown of who, by position, you think should be in that on that list?
My position.
Let's let's start with quarterback. That would be I think the easiest one maybe in terms of relatability or guys tuning in to think who they're gonna pick. So yeah, from that list, who do you think would be the first one to get into the Hall of Fame?
Donovan McNabb.
Really?
Second would be Aaron McNair.
Yeah.
Honestly, the panel's probably gonna lean towards Tony Romo.
I don't know about that.
Maybe Mike Vick. The thing about Mike Vick is he could have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, no problem, if it wasn't for the dogfighting incident.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I'm going on this, those are my choices. I would love to see Rich Gannon get into the Hall. He had one MVP.
Yeah.
But
one Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, but the thing about it is Jim Plunkett has 2 rings and he's still not in the Hall. So I have a big issue with that.
Wow.
Plunkett should be in the Hall before any of these guys, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion.
Damn. See, that's tough. Does Plunkett have an MVP?
Plunkett does not have an MVP, but he's got 2 rings.
Okay, cool. Then all right, well, there's a stat that I say that Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer. Of course, he's not on this list, but the reason why I say this, of course, Joe Burrow has still a lot to prove, and before Joe Burrow, Cam Newton stood alone. Cam Newton is the only player to have a Heisman, an MVP, and a Super Bowl appearance. Now, of course, Jim Plunkett won a Heisman and won 2 Super Bowls, but never got an MVP. But yeah, it's really hard to be great in both college and the NFL enough to win basically the highest award and then win a Super Bowl. Of course, Joe Burrow hasn't won the MVP, been to a Super Bowl, but won the Heisman. He still has to be able to do that. But yeah, that's why I say Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer. He got a Heisman and an MVP and a Super Bowl appearance. But if we're going from this list, I think the first one going in there is Aaron McNair. First one to have a Super Bowl appearance. He has an MVP. Bowled down to a yard. Won a playoff game, I believe, in Baltimore. But I'd say Aaron McNair, Mike Vick, Donovan McNabb, and then Rich Gannon. Sadly, Cunningham, Bulger, even Tony Romo, Jeff Garcia's not doing it because they're not going to bring him in because he said some terrible things about women broadcasters. Man, he don't got a chance. Poor Doug Flutie. I like me some Flutie, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean I do too, but not Randall Cunningham. I think that'd be cool if he got in there. I really do like Randall Cunningham.
I like Randall Cunningham
I just
too.
feel like the biggest one would be McNabb or Aaron McNair.
Yeah, and McNabb got a MVP, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. Okay.
I'd have to double check that.
So we got, top 2 guys. I picked McNair, you picked McNabb. Both MVPs, both Super Bowl appearances.
Correction, he was not.
And then McNabb never won an MVP. Ooh, okay. Well, okay, sorry. Yeah, good old Madden screwed that up for me. I was like, did he win it in 06? Yeah, Mike Vick. But we're not going to do kickers or kick returners, man. Well, where's he at?
One kick returner.
Devin Hester's not on this list. It don't matter. Oh, sorry. No. Hey, 2 nominees, Josh Cribbs and Brian Mitchell. I like me some Josh Cribbs.
I like Cribbs.
Yeah, plain simple.
I know you don't
Brian Mitchell was a Eagles product.
Yep.
You said I know you don't like what?
I know you don't want to do punters or kickers, but shout out to Gary Anderson. I like.
I like me some Gary Anderson.
Too, and also Leckler and Pat McAfee. I know he didn't do it long enough, but I like Pat.
He's on there though.
He is on there.
He is on there. Yeah, heck, he was a great player. Jason Elam at one point in time had the longest kick in history. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Love me some David Akers. Matt Stover was a great Baltimore Ravens kicker.
Doesn't seem like he's been gone that long.
Who?
Stover.
Stover's been gone as long as Tucker's been here, and Tucker's been in the league for 9 years.
I know, it's just insane. Like, dude.
Well, yeah, time flies, yeah. So, yeah, and of course, tight ends, Antonio Gates, Ben Coates, and then Wesley Walls. I never seen Ben Coates play, but I heard great things about him. He played in New England.
Antonio
that's,
Gates is a shoe-in.
Yeah, oh, a slam dunk. Yeah. Absolute slam dunk. 1 second here.
Wide receivers are they're still trying to catch that up. There's so many good wide receivers that still need to get in there.
See, and this is the thing that's frustrating. Devin Hester's under wide receivers, man. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's just no other way of putting it. Well, I'm excited about Jordy Nelson. I'm excited about Brandon Marshall.
They do have him under punter and kick returner as well.
For some reason it wasn't indicated on this list. It's from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know why you exclude him from kick returner, punt returner. He had the most kick returns all time until Cordell Patterson came in and took over. But dude was a one-hit wonder. Dude was a nut. He was so good. It didn't matter. He could take it back every time.
Out of this specific list, though, this is a hard one for wide receivers. Damn, this is hard. There's so many good ones.
I like to keep it simple.
I'm going to give you 3. Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne, and who's going to give my last one? Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt. No, I love it. See, I like that. Torrey Holt is definitely worthy. Hold on, let me see what the indication of the stars are. Bold name to note first year eligible players. Oh, that's all this is. First year eligible players. That's the solid color. Okay, then denotes class of 220.
And they were the stars finalists last year.
Okay. So Torrey Holt and Devin Hester were finalists last year, which is good. Well deserved. And the thing is, how I look at some of these players, if you have the Super Bowl and you are, depending on the team or of course depending on the stat, if you are the number one receiver all time for that team, if you have that and the Super Bowl, Hall of Famer. And that fits Hines Ward. Reggie Wayne, I know he's at least top 2, because of Marvin Harrison. He might be number 1 for all we know. He played a couple years after, but Hall of Famer, Super Bowl. I think Steve Smith Sr. I don't know if he's the number 1 receiver of all time for Carolina. I don't see why he wouldn't be, but made it to the Super Bowl, lost by 3 to Tom Brady. Torrey Holt, Hall of Famer, without a doubt. He had crazy stats for a point in time where he was just the man. But I love me some Andre Johnson. Yeah, I love Andre Johnson.
He played with a lot of bad quarterbacks too, and put up numbers. Too.
Now, Hopkins probably would have passed him, but in all reality, he was that dude. He was there longer. Yep. I love me some Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, Aquan Bolden. I don't know how he's not a finalist. That dude just performed his entire career, and he got a Super Bowl in. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. Yep. He won one, with Baltimore of all places. No, I'm sorry. He did win one, but he went to San Fran the very next year. He didn't make it back with them because they played Baltimore. Yep. So yeah, he's been to 2 Super Bowls.
Yep. But then running back stacked too.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, wow.
I don't know,
wow.
I don't know how these committees vote on this stuff. It's pretty freaking stacked.
Well, keeping it simple, Mike Allstott, if we're looking at this list right now, Mike Allstott, Corey Dillon, both Super Bowl winners. Mike Allstott was the best fullback in the game when he played. Lorenzo Neal, he blocked for LaDainian Tomlinson, Jamal Lewis, for a handful of guys. I don't know where else he was at, but Lorenzo Neal was good everywhere he went.
He's with the Raiders too a little bit.
Okay. Fred Taylor, dude couldn't stay healthy, but the guy had an incredible career. He's the all-time leading rusher, I think, at Jacksonville. If not, it was MJD, but
CJ2K.
again, I like some Chris Johnson, and I also like Steven Jackson. Vontae Leach, great fullback for the Baltimore Ravens. Blocked for Ray Rice.
Daryl Johnston, Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, see the Goose, man. Yeah, how's he not in? Come on. I love me some John Kuhn, but he might be a scratch.
Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams, sadly, I think he's a scratch, man. He was so good. I love Westbrook. I think he's a scratch.
Yep. Eddie George, he's got to be in.
No, see, I don't think he makes it.
Yeah,
I don't think he makes it.
This list, though, it's just insane.
Oh, yeah, the running back list is wild.
Defensive lineman, Jared Allen, how is he not in yet?
If it didn't boil down to eligibility, I don't know why, because dude just produced every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year. I love Jared Allen.
So do I.
He's probably labeled as a defensive lineman. Yeah, he is. Okay. Yeah, this list is crazy. Jared Allen, Dwight Freeney, Casey Hampton, Robert Mathis. I love Haloti Ngata and Julius Peppers, but Simeon Rice was part of that 2002 Tampa Bay team. Vince Wilfork, dude. Jamal Williams, he was part of it. He was a Charger. Kevin and Pat Williams are both Vikings. Kyle.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
So good. So good. Justin Tuck, Super Bowl winner, 2-time Super Bowl winner. A lot of great players there.
Linebackers, Teddy Bruschi, James Ferrier, Fletcher, Harrison.
London Fletcher, probably the most underrated linebacker out of this entire list is London Fletcher. He was on that. He was part of the Super Bowl teams for the Rams, or the one time, and then really couldn't make it back. But dude have 100 tackles every single year, man, and just never make a Pro Bowl. That's his biggest issue.
Vrabes, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman.
Yeah.
Bowman scratch though. He didn't play long enough.
No, I don't think so either.
What could have been for Bowman though, man?
I thought Willie McGinnis was a Hall of Famer.
Nope. Willie's, I mean,
I could have swore he was. It's crazy that
don't
Richard
think
Seymour isn't. He isn't.
I don't think Willie McGinnis is getting in though after what happened last year around the Super Bowl time.
What do you mean? What happened?
He beat the hell out of somebody.
Oh.
Him and his boys went in the bar and beat the hell out of somebody.
Oh, that's tragic.
Got cut from
That
the
is
NFL
tragedy.
immediately. Defense.
That's why he left.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Defensive backs, Eric Allen, stud. Antonio
See,
Cromartie
that's-
and his 13
damn.
kids, stud. But I don't think
Y-
Cromartie
Let
can
me tell you right now, the situation with Antonio Cromartie, that is just absolutely incredible.
do it.
to have a vasectomy and then have 2 more kids. How?
I mean, it's not 100%, but I would probably have a DNA test. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, right.
Um,
That's.
uh,
I guess that's never been proven. Peanut Tillman, the FBI agent.
see now, yeah. I mean, Rodney Harrison.
I love Rodney Harrison. I don't care what people say. Carnell Lake was good. Cam Chancellor. Dre Bly. I love Dre Bly. Again, Super Bowl team with the Rams.
Yep.
Samari Roll played for the Ravens. Allen Rossum was once a Steeler, but he's a kick returner. Bob Sanders never stayed healthy, but he was so good.
He was.
Troy Vincent. Antoine Winfield was probably the best tackling corner.
And now his son's playing in the league. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, and he's good.
Yeah.
His son's really good.
It's just insane, dude. Like this list, I feel like we were just playing them in Madden with these guys, like and then watching them on TV, and now they're up for Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's insane.
Hall of Fame, man.
Good luck to
It's
everybody
wild.
involved.
Yeah, no, good luck. I hope everyone gets their name called and gets a chance because it's well, it looks like a great time. The Hall of Fame is always fun, but yeah, it looks like a great time.
But you ready to dive into some smash or pass?
Yeah. Hold on, let's take a memento. Oh, other mouse. I like me some Ruby's. That's some good pizza. It's circular pizza, right?
Yeah.
I can get on that. I can have sex with that.
Damn right.
You can't beat good pizza. Which, honest to God, man, I'm kind of biased against any form of good pizza. You just gotta have good sauce, good crust, good cheese, and good pepperoni. If you got those things, which I'm giving you a lot of wiggle room, anyways, you can do that. You'll have me forever.
Yeah. DeCarlo's my favorite, but I'm sort of biased.
No, that stuff's so good, man. Especially Wellsburg Carlos.
Yes.
That's
Go to.
they'll box it when you get there.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'm going to play the clip. We're rolling into the bottom half of this show here. We're going to be talking about Smash or Pass, then do ourselves a parlay. And we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. But, yeah, here's Smash or Pass.
Wait, let me smash.
Pass. Right? So Smash or Pass. What we're doing, we're breaking down some money lines here that, that indicate, likelihood of, them being the other underdogs, of course. And, we're trying to find, the teams that we'll smash on, or we'll, of course, we'll pass. So we'll just get right into here, Kyle. Wow. This is going to be that Thursday night game. Big Thursday night game. Could be an interesting one. We got the Giants against the 49ers. Giants are getting the money here, plus 410 to take it at Santa Clara in San Fran.
Is Brock Purdy playing?
Yeah, Brock Purdy's playing.
Deebo Samuel playing?
Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle,
Christian McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, I don't even know why I did that. It's 100% pass. I was just messing with you. It's 100%.
Yeah, it's especially, Saquon Barkley's out.
Yeah.
That might have gone up since, it might have gone up to 410 since talking about it, or since him getting hurt. But, yeah.
The way the Giants
I
have been
agree.
playing, it's pass.
I agree with that. Moving on here. So we got Denver Broncos going into Miami with plus money here, plus 230 for the Denver Broncos. Smash or pass.
Humid in Miami. Denver's got to get a win. I'm going to smash this. I got a feeling.
Yeah.
I'm smashing this.
I'm right there with you as well. There's one of these games every single week, and Dolphins being 2-0, do you really think, hey, are they all that they crack up to be? And, Fangio being, an ex-coach, ex-head coach of the Broncos, and, the ebb and flow that they've had in the coaching carousel between Nate Hackett and now Penner Payton, sitting at 0-2. Very interesting to see, and I don't think they're going 0-3. So yeah, I'm gonna smash this as well. But moving on here, we got a 1:00 game, another 1:00 game. Indianapolis Colts going into Baltimore. Colts sitting at plus 275.
I think AR-15 is still in concussion protocol.
Okay.
I'm going to pass on this. I think Baltimore's just a better team.
Me
All
too.
around.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm passing.
Yeah, that's an easy pass for me. No Jonathan Taylor. No Jonathan Taylor Thomas. 1:00 game. We got Buffalo going into Washington to face the Commanders, and the home team got plus money here, plus 220, facing the Buffs, the Buffalo Bills.
I like the way Sam Howell's playing. I like the way Eric Bieniemy is putting him in good positions. The defense plays well at times. They definitely turned around late in the first half against Denver, and carried it all the way in the second half. But I don't see them slowing down the Bills enough, so I'm going to pass on this one as well.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. Commanders going in at 2-0, and the Bills are 1-1. And did they find their formula of winning last week against the Las Vegas Raiders? We don't know. But plus 22, I would more likely choose the latter here than take that 222. So I'm going pass as well. But we got a divisional matchup here. Another 1 o'clock game, a hot 1 o'clock game. We got the Houston Texans going into Jacksonville. Jacksonville going off a tough loss from Kansas City, and Houston just trying to find a win. But they are plus 340 facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to have to pass on this.
So here's the thing. C.J. Stroud is actually having a hell of a season, rookie season. He has more 300-yard passing games than Justin Fields in 2 games compared to Justin Fields' 6 games. 26 games. So
that is new news.
So with that being said, Jacksonville, where is Zay Jones? Where is Christian Kirk? They're missing. It's been the I understand they got I'm blanking on his name. He just came back.
Calvin Ridley,
yeah. They got him.
Evan Ingram.
I understand they got those guys now, and they're balling early part in the year. But I think this is the game where Zay Jones and Christian Kirk come back, and I think Jacksonville. I think C.J. Stroud puts up some good numbers, but it's not enough. That team's still growing. There's going to be a lot of growing pains, but I do like the way C.J.'s playing, but I still don't think it's going to be enough some passing.
Yeah, it just boils down to that running game and how much that offensive line can protect him. And I think this Jacksonville team is going to start finding itself because, again, divisional matchup, one of these teams in this AFC South is going to be a winner. Mm-hmm. Whether they like it or not, there's going to be somebody. And yeah, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to peel away here. But moving on here, we got a couple more 1 o'clock games. The Atlanta Falcons going into Detroit. And tough loss for Detroit. And again, who'd have thought Atlanta sitting pretty right at 2-0. Still underdogs here, plus 140 going into Detroit.
Bijan Robinson is a problem in the NFL. Like he is as advertised. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Our boy Kev.
Bottom line.
Our boy Kev hates Arthur Smith, but he's got those boys rolling in hot Atlanta. But it's going to stop. Detroit, big letdown game last week. I don't think it's going to happen again this week. Although Gardner Johnson did tear his pec, so they're going to be down without Gardner Johnson. But I think MCDC Dan Campbell is going to have these boys ready to go, and Detroit gets back on track this week. So I'm passing.
Yeah, I think so as well. And in all honesty, I like what they're doing in Atlanta, but I hate what they're doing with Kyle Pitts. They need to incorporate him more, and until that happens, I think this is where they figure out they need to find a way to get him the ball more. So, yeah, I'm passing. I don't see Dan Campbell having a losing record with his team this year.
Nope.
This team's too good. I think this team's put together too well, and it all starts from the top, and I love me some Dan Campbell. But, yeah, pass. So, a lot of 1 o'clock games. Wow, I forgot how many 1 o'clock games there were until they started having buys.
They need to adjust this stuff a little bit better for red.
No, hey, no, it's cool. But yeah, no, a lot of games at once. But 1 o'clock game, Tennessee Titans going into Cleveland. This is a blah game. Tennessee sitting at 145 plus 145 here. Of course, Cleveland coming off a loss. I'm pretty sure Tennessee's 0-2.
Tennessee's 1-1.
A whole bunch of nothing.
They won in overtime against the Chargers last week.
That's right. That's right. I'm so sorry.
I'm 100% taking Vrabes. I trust Vrabes over Stefanski and Deshaun Watson. I can't stand Hill, but I'm smashing this all the way.
Let's say he gets out and then Will Levis comes in and just does enough. That's what I think was going to happen there. But yeah, sure. Hey, screw the Browns, man. I'll take the Titans in this. If you get Derrick Henry some open space, and that's the thing, that defense, that Cleveland defense is really good. If they're able to stop Derrick Henry, then yeah, I would say don't take this bet. But hey, Pat, I'll smash it. Why not? But 1 o'clock game, another divisional game here. Going back to them, we got the New England Patriots going into New York to face the New York Jets, and the Jets here, home underdog, plus 114. Just an eyesore of a season so quickly now. It's sad.
What are you
It's a
doing
real
here?
sad thing. Oh, I'm passing this, man. I am not a fan of what's going on. Like, Aaron's gone. Boo freakity who, okay? What are you going to do when the odds are against you? I really thought that they'd say, okay, cool, this is not at all the scenario that we thought. And if anything, it's the worst case scenario. Now we can go full-blown, like, Aaron can no longer run this offense. Let's simplify Zach Wilson and get him into just one-on-one situations where I am going to run the ball 9 times out of 10, and those one time, the one time where we're throwing it, it's going to be a single high safety, and we got Garrett Wilson. And, Alan Lazard, like we can figure out Garrett Wilson plus whoever, doesn't matter. And that defense should be good enough to compete with anybody. And I know we're going into week 3, but they looked bad against Dallas. It should have been a 19-14 or 19-3 game, but it was not even competitive. And yeah, I mean, Dallas might be a little bit better than we thought, but that defense. I know I'm rambling here, but like the Jets are just they've totally all the air's gone.
So, I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. I don't.
Neither am I. I'm not.
But I like Salah. I think he's going to use the underdog mentality this week. So I'm going to actually smash this.
Okay.
Mac Jones struggles against that Jets defense ever since Salah's been there, so I think he's going to struggle again. Now, I will say Mac's been playing a lot better with Bill O'Brien as the OC.
Billy.
But I'm going to smash.
Billman.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to smash this. And that takes us to our next one, the Saints and the Packers.
You mean the New Orleans Raiders?
Yeah, the New
And the
Orleans
Packers.
Raiders and the Packers. Plus 110, the Saints 2-0 being the underdogs.
I'm taking that.
I'm smashing that
smashing
all the way.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot too. Aaron Jones ain't gonna be playing in this game. It's gonna be a lot of the quad father, and for some reason they don't want to rely on him.
Yeah.
Like, talk about a guy that could be the next Nick Chubb, the next Derrick Henry. Quad father's right there, and yeah, again, young quarterback. Why not rely on Aaron Jones, which again he's hurt, and Aaron or AJ Dillon. Yeah, they want to put in this other guy named Brown, Emmanuel Brown. He took a handoff 80 yards, but it's a weird situation in Green Bay. I'm not gonna get into it too much. So smash Saints here.
And Derek Carr is going to start 3-0 for the first time in his pro career.
Loving it. I'm telling you right now, loving every minute of. I hope he's eating Bojangles every night. 1 o'clock game, wrapping up the 1 o'clock games, and what a pissing contest this is going to be. LA Chargers going into Minnesota facing the Vikings. And we got this is our first negative here, double negative.
Both 0-2.
Both 0-2.
I am the money, technically, the way this is reading, it looks like Minnesota is the underdog.
Yeah, barely. Negative money, minus 108 to minus 112.
I don't trust Minnesota's defense with Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores is a good coach, but their defense been a lot of up and down lately.
The way that Philly was able to run the ball was pretty shocking.
Bad. I don't think the running back. I don't think Eckler is going to be available this week, so I'm going to smash Minnesota on this one.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, I guess I'll take that as well. They're the home team. They'll show up for Skull Nation. But dude, there's nothing I want to take about this bet. It's all negative money.
It is. I wouldn't.
Yeah, Vikings are plus
this,
one,
this,
but it's negative.
This is not part of my parlay, but I'm taking Vikings.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Panthers and Seahawks. Last 1:00 game this week.
No, 4:00. This is 4:05.
Is it
It's a
4? Oh yeah,
4:05
you're
game.
right. You're right. 4:05.
Yes, sir. And hey, the Carolina Panthers are plus 190 going into Seattle. 12th man. I
Seattle.
think 12 man's gonna be chirping here.
Seattle rights the ship from week 1. Pass on this one.
Yeah. Bryce Young still can't figure it out. Pass. Another 425. Well, 405 to 425 here. We're gonna get the Cowboys going into Arizona.
I am definitely.
Arizona plus 440.
I am definitely passing on this one.
You know what? Take this as singular bet. I'm gonna say smash. I really think that
Oof, you think Arizona wins?
I think the Cardinals come in early and just win again. They beat Dallas for no goddamn reason. And I know Dallas looks like they've been unstoppable, but really, Dan Quinn, he's doing a great job. But I really think that there's a point in time where Mike McCarthy's going to show his true colors. I'm just not a fan of him. And if I have a chance to root against the Cowboys or bet against the Cowboys, I'm going to do it. So, yeah, just take this as a singular bet and don't parlay it. Don't be dumb. But, yeah, smash the Cardinals here. Josh Dobbs, I believe in you.
If you're on DraftKings, use your no sweat bet on this game because you'll want your money back. Josh Dobbs is going to run for it. Josh Dobbs is running for his life this week. Guaranteed.
Micah Parsons. I might be, thinking, who knows. But, another 425 game, that might hurt you. We got the Bears going into Kansas City to face the Chiefs, plus 490, Kyle.
Well,
pass.
it's the offense coordinator's fault. The defense coordinator resigned. I'm definitely 100% passing on this.
Yeah. Which brings us to our
Game of the week?
Sunday night game of the week. Yeah, football night in America.
Steelers and the Raiders.
Yeah, Steelers and the Raiders, and it's funny how things will pan out. Steelers go in as the underdogs here, plus 114. Going in on the Raiders. What you smashing or passing, brother?
You know the answer. Ken Stabler night.
Yeah.
Passing.
Yeah.
Raiders get back on track. Steelers defense is a lot better than the Raiders defense. Kenny Pickett's going to actually have his first ever game with 2+ touchdowns, but I think we do just enough to slow you guys down, and we win. So passing on this.
So you really think that Kenny Pickett gets 2 touchdowns and gets the win?
No, Kenny Pickett does not win. Raiders.
Or sorry, no. What'd you say? He gets the 2 touchdowns and
Raiders do just enough to win.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you right now, if just enough, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The Steelers, if Kenny Pickett gets 2 touchdowns, he's gonna get 1 in garbage time because I'm telling you, this offense is so hard to watch, man.
I'll give you a score.
Like it's
20,
it's if you try to jerk it the other way.
24-23 Raiders.
Like if you instead of doing this, you do this. I know I've talked about it before. It's like if you do this. There's no reason for it.
Now, there is a caveat to this.
Your hands closed. Why?
There's a caveat, and it's going to be big news. It's going to say Raiders moved to Vegas, and they can't get any home field advantage. It's nothing but Steelers, yada, yada, yada. We all know Vegas is very destination-driven, so yes, there's going to be a lot of terrible towels there. But Raider Nation will show up. They will support their team.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a close game, one of the close battles. It's going to be one of the games of the week. It's going to be 24-23 Raiders.
Again, 24-23. Wow. Hey, Boswell, keep on kicking, brother. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out because, again, this is one of those great old-school rivalries. We talked about it. It's like the Packers and the Niners back in the day or the Niners and the Cowboys back in the day. Packers and Cowboys, right? As well. But great matchups all around, and the old school days. Obviously, in the '70s is what I'm referring to with the Raiders and Steelers. But great times, and hopefully those could pick back up because great fan bases. But I do not want any part of this bet. I don't like betting on my team, so if anything, I would just I would stay away from it. I don't like betting.
Go ahead and smash it. You gotta smash it. Dude, smash your team.
Smash, fine.
go.
Smash the fucker. I'm gonna come in on Monday or next week going, oh, thank God I passed. Or, thank God I smashed, right? Sorry. But we got our
2 Monday night games.
Another doubleheader?
Another doubleheader.
Oh. Alrighty, so interesting situation here. We got 2-0 teams at the 7:15 hour, 7:15 time slot. We got the Buccaneers hosting the Eagles here with plus money, plus 164. How do you feel about that? Baker Mayfield, 2-0.
I have not been on the Baker Mayfield bandwagon
What am I thinking?
ever.
Yeah. What am I thinking?
But he has that team believing. So I am going to go out on a limb here. And if he screws me over, I'll never do it again. But I am smashing this. And he's in my parlay. They are my parlay. So Baker, if you're listening,
Baker parlay.
If you're listening, you screw me over, never again.
Never again.
Never again. You can go up against the Cardinals. I'm not picking you. So Baker and the Buccaneers smashing.
Wow. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, what a stud. Rashad White. I love it. I absolutely love it. It plus 164. The over or the money. The points are set at 45.5, and this is a tough one for me. I'm with you. I like plus money. I'm a sucker for them, and so plus 164. Smash this.
There you go. Last one of the week: Rams and the Bengals.
8:15 matchup.
Joey might not play.
Yeah, and this last time they played each other, that it was in the Super Bowl, and a bowl down to one play, and Aaron Donald was better than whoever was blocking for Joe Burrow. Different story here. I think the Rams were favored in that Super Bowl.
They were.
So in this game, they are the underdogs, plus 120 for the visiting Los Angeles Rams. Surprising outcome, for this first 2 weeks here for the Rams. I think they're 1-1, right?
Uh-huh.
But they're looking good overall. Give or take a few games, but they are a real young team. Plus 120. If Joe Burrow plays, it's a different story, I think. But of course, we could be surprised. Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald has a lot of an impact.
Yep.
And if they're doing it without Cam Akers, man, it's hard. It's hard not to bet against. It's hard to bet against Sean McVay. I like Sean McVay.
I do too. I am smashing this as well.
Yeah. Smash.
Well, I know you really don't do too many parlays. So I'll give.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, fanfare. 1 second, fanfare. And that was smash or pass.
Let me smash.
All right.
So
No, actually, I don't. I play real sports. Not trying to be the best at exercising.
What you got for me, Kyle?
my parlay. I only did 5 teams this week, so be proud of me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to find. There we go. Colorado, number 19, Colorado versus number 10, Oregon, 3:30 p.m. game. Plus 650 for Colorado. I got Colorado money line plus 650
Okay.
without Travis Hunter. Okay.
Who they facing again?
Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Oh.
I'm taking Colorado. I believe in Coach Prime. I might have to buy Coach Prime's shades if he gets that win for me.
I really like those shades too.
I do too.
I know it's a huge propaganda machine right now, but he's killing
He
it,
is
dude.
killing it.
I want those. I want them so badly.
Yeah, I do too. He's killing it.
Yeah.
I'm taking Denver as well over Miami. I'm taking
Letting Russ cook,
Yeah.
cooking rice.
I'm letting Russ cook. And then I also have Titans over the Browns. That's the plus what is it, plus 145. And then I also took the Saints over the Packers plus 110.
Okay.
And then
Taysom Hill.
Yep. And then I also what's the last game I took? Oh, I took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
So,
Baker Mayfield, man.
with all of that being said, here's what my bet would pay out when I win.
1 million Fafilion.
And it ain't 1 million. I wish it was.
Oh man. We could go full time right now. you
Let
know?
me get back to this.
What a time. What a time to be alive that would be.
I'm trying to bring it back up to. Give me 1 second. I accidentally exited out. So,
That's always
my
how it goes.
$10 bet, once I win, would pay out $3,361.74.
Damn.
Yep.
I like that. I like it a lot, Kyle.
And
I'm pulling for you. Let's have a big pizza party.
let's do it.
Yeah, man.
Let's
We'll
do
get
it.
some of that we'll get some of that pizza from that place you was talking about.
Rubies.
Or we could go Ruby's, DeCarlo's, and then I don't know, some other places and just rate them all.
Maybe we just get wings too, Drovers.
Oh, see, you know what, man? Yeah, I mean the sky's the limit with $3,000, but yeah, no, that would be wings. Give me some wings right now. But
Yeah,
hell yeah, man, we did it.
we did it.
The two of us, just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Sorry, had to get that out. But we did it, brother.
We did it.
Yeah, man.
I love.
I'm excited for this weekend.
I love you, bro. Definitely see you.
Say that again?
I said, I love you, bro. I'll definitely see you Sunday.
Yeah, no, love you too, man. Sorry, I apologize. I was like, you cut out right there, shit. But yeah, I'll see you on Sunday, and go Steelers, huh? How about that, dude? How about that,
Raider
motherfucker?
Nation. The autumn wind is upon us. You know what? Saturday is?
What's Saturday?
First day of fall.
Oh shit! I should have known. I should have known something like that.
You know what Sunday night is? The best
The
game.
first night of fall.
No, the best game of the week, and it's Kenny Stabler night.
Oh yeah, the Rattler, the rattlesnake, man.
Dude,
The slithery snake,
the
man.
snake.
He's the man.
The snake.
The snake. He was the man.
Yep.
But yeah, Kyle, we'll talk to you then. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you after we get off this. But thank you everyone for tuning in on TikTok and YouTube Live here. Make sure you guys tune in to the recorded version or the saved version of this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts.
Anywhere you get your pods.
Or wherever you get them, yeah. That's just the main areas of where we are.
Please
but,
subscribe, resubscribe, listen to it a million
Please.
times.
Please listen to it as many times as you like. Episodes will be uploaded weekly, and please, hit that like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff because we appreciate you and we hope you appreciate the show. But Kyle, once again, man, good luck to you, sir. I'm excited for this football season. I can't believe we're kicking off. It's already week 3, but we're about to get into some other shit next week. more in-depth stuff. We got baseball coming up. Of course, college football's going on, and we're going to dive in more on that other than the hot button stories that we've talked about earlier in the show. But there's a lot going on, and I'm very excited for it. But right here on 2K, 4K Podcast, the one and only.
Be nice to everybody. I love y'all.
Be nice to everybody. Love you. Thank you. Take it easy.